Hey guys, welcome back. Real Estate Uncensored. We got another awesome show. You know what, Alyssa and I, we are taking a break. We are taking a break, and don't get your panties in a twist. It's not that kind of a break. All right, we're just taking a break from guests. And
Oh, yeah.
Alyssa and I have come up with some amazing shows that we're going to have for you guys, for very tactical and practical things for you guys to put into your business. Today, we're going to be going over the 8 lead gen follow ups for your clients, either past or current or future. And Alyssa has a list for her, and I have a list for me. We're pretty much on the same path here.
Pretty
And
similar.
huh?
Pretty similar. I mean, pretty similar, but I got a couple different ideas. You do too.
Yeah, exactly. But the cool thing is, we're coming from a male, female, different perspectives, lender, agent, different perspectives, right? And so we're really going to really put it back to you guys to tell us in the comments below what you guys really like. If you're watching it on YouTube, please make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe button. Watch this video all the way to the end. It really helps this channel out. And then of course follow Alyssa and I on all of our different social media. We'll get into that in a minute. But of course, my incredibly gorgeous, amazing, wonderful, intelligent, talented co-host, Miss Alyssa Glutz. Miss Color My Credit. What's up, girl?
I'm doing great. I was trying to find a tool. I was trying to find a prop. I'm a prop comic over here.
You know what?
I'm excited. Hi. I went
Well,
to
you
Palm
should
Springs
be.
for 3 days, and it was awesome. It was a great little excursion in my life to get away.
Well, you know what? Everyone needs to let off a little steam. And from what I've understood, you let off a lot of steam down there and you feel like a new woman. You're back ready. You're back in the saddle, ready to change lives and have fun, right?
Yes. Get
So
back in touch with my database, right?
let's do it. Let's jump in this right now because our audience is not going to wait for us to talk. So
Right.
let's
Right.
talk about I'll tell you my 8, and then you tell me your 8, and then we'll
Okay.
compare and contrast, and then we'll just go down and go deeper in each one. You ready?
I like it. Go.
Okay, my first to stay up to date or find new leads is, as everybody knows, I'm a cold caller. I've been a cold caller my whole life. So I would say I'm going to do calls, I'm going to do door knocks and pop buys. I'm going to do emails, be weekly, monthly, and then personal emails to every single person. Social media on all levels, stories, posts on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, fuck, dude, pick another one and just go for it. Just everything on social. Text messaging, which is something I use for follow-ups, would be voice messages and video text messages. It puts a face with a name. People love that shit. Then events. So we'll do past client events, which we can go deep into, local events and the community events, videos are on listings, buyers, local videos, the personal videos, fun videos, community videos, and then last but not least, letters and mailers. So now I just flew through that content
Is
very
that more
quick.
than 8? I'm thinking that was more than 8, but anyway.
Well, there was context behind each one, right? I gave so the emails I gave weekly, monthly, personal, right? So it was email, but then different contexts.
Right.
So I mean I am dyslexic, but I'm pretty sure that's 8. What are yours?
Just large categories. I mean, obviously those are great because a lot of the ones are very similar, kind of in a way. I was saying, the handwritten note cannot go wrong.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
that personal touch. Remembering certain things, keeping a really good CRM and database of details about them. If they like certain stores, if their dog's name is Bob, like what do you got to know? If you have, I don't know. I've never met a dog named Bob, but anyway, it could be just knowing them and being a little bit more connected with them. So the handwritten note, personalized video messages. I know what you go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well,
I
I was gonna say, when it comes to the pets, right? Everybody's so attached to their pets. I mean, whenever somebody remembers my dog's name, I am immediately like, oh my God, thank you for remembering my dog's name. Even you don't know my name, but you definitely know my dog's name. And I'm like, that's so cool. I think it's a really good thing because if I see you, Alyssa, in the store, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's your dog's name, by the way?
Pepe. Gosh, how do you not know that? Pepe.
I've never met. Fuck you. I've never met Pepe.
Now my trust level just went down to 0 because you don't know my dog's name.
So if I walk up to you at the store and we're in the produce section, I'm like, oh my God, how are you? How's Pepe?
We already are on a deeper level right then and there. I'm like, even if I couldn't even remember who you are or where I met you, I'll be like, Pepe? To be honest, I do that even if somebody says my name correctly. I
Alyssa
am
like Melissa.
instantly fall in love. I know, well, you got it down because of the Alyssa like Melissa, but a lot of people don't.
I
But
did.
when you have a screwed up name, sorry, mom. It's my mom's birthday, by the way. Happy
Happy
69.
birthday, Mama Glutz. Happy birthday, Mama Glutz.
69. But my mom, spells it a little different. No one spells it Alisa. And anyway, my point is, if you have a client that has a little bit of a different spelling, a different pronunciation, getting that right, I'm telling you, because those people have dealt with it their whole life, their name being said wrong. When you get it right, it's almost like an instant, instant I love you. I feel. Thanks, Debbie.
It really is. It's those small
With the
details.
dog
So let's
too.
let's
Yeah.
break it down for our audience, and because I want this to be. We're gonna guys and guys. What we're
You have
doing
to
on the
let me
show
get
is
through
that
my
we're.
8.
Oh right, shit, fuck. All right, cool. Sorry,
Stop
my fault.
talking.
Jeez.
Okay, next one, social media engagement. I think you said something about that, but it's more
Yeah.
about not so much about you putting something out. To be honest with you, we put way too much stress on us providing content, on us creating content. You know what's awesome? When you're not even a content creator, but you're somebody who is always supporting others, like Debbie here. Debbie is always watching our podcast and supporting us by not just sitting there, but like commenting, sharing it with her friends, engaging. Like, oh, if you can be that person. I got a friend, Tracy Kratzik, who is like the ultimate Facebook wingman. Because if you post something, she's probably going to be one of the first people that'll comment something. Well, she knows the game of engaging. Like, look, if nothing else, can you like something of someone's or share it or comment, just to support that person, just to help them get more in front of more people.
So here's the funny thing. I'm glad you brought that up because this is 100% free, by the way, boys and girls. What I've been starting to do, and trust me, it is not easy. It takes work, but I
Mhm.
go back to every person that like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or maybe up to 1,000 people that have watched my videos at different posts. Right? I go
Mhm.
back and I'm now making comments. Hey, how are you? How are your kids? Thank you for
Yeah.
watching. I appreciate you. Great story. I watched
Mhm.
their stories. Now it takes time. I
Mhm.
will tell you the responses that I've been getting is astonishingly awesome. And it cost me zero money, a little bit of time. So if you're sitting there taking a shit in the morning or something, go through a post you posted up last night and just be like, love you, like you. And by the way, guys, I'm actually not on the toilet if I say that back to you. It's just, this is just kind of an aha moment. But I mean, just take time when you have a moment and just say, hey, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. How are you? What's new? Now that does two things. That reconnects a bond for someone who has a know, like, and trust with you. Second off, it tells the algorithm that what you're posting and what you're commenting is appropriate for them. So then at that point, they're going to be seeing more of your content at a zero cost
0.
basis.
Yes.
I mean, it's time. I mean, if you're doing cold calls, get on your cell phone, respond to people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
Miss you. We should get lunch. That's how easy it is.
It is, and it could just be, I can tell you every single Friday, I send an item of value to all my realtor partners.
What
Okay.
kind of item of
Right.
value? We're talking like $1,
It,
$10, $100.
well, you know me, it's going to be something that's probably a little collage made to music that
That's
educates you
true.
on the amount of insurance you pay in Texas versus Florida. I mean, like I
Sure.
like these very statistical or just fun facts. I like the fun facts. Sometimes I find a website that I find is really helpful. And so maybe that's my Friday thing I send to my agents, but I try to just send them something that I think that not only will grow them professionally, maybe it'll grow them personally, maybe it'll just be something they can hand to their client, maybe it'll open up a conversation with the client.
So basically, so when he says something of value, like so here in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's called sffunandcheap.com.
Mhm.
And they have all the fun, cheap, or free events in all the different counties in San Francisco,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
So what I used to do, which I haven't done, which I really should do,
Yeah.
I need to put together like an email or a live event going, okay, guys, here's what the new events this weekend are. And I'd walk through them. There was one I remember, and it was like hey, it's a Barbie parade. I'm like, well, Barbie parade in Chinatown. Yeah, not going to that one, but I'll see you never. Okay, let's go to another one. Oh, beer fest. Okay. Kind of that kind of personality. I think that
All
would
of
be
us
more of
want
a
to know
person.
what's happening this weekend, or we kind of, especially us with kids, we kind of want an idea of what's going on around town. Is there a parade? Is there something,
Is there
I
ice
always
cream
open those
festival?
emails.
Huh?
I always open those emails from the people who send me something that's like event oriented for the month, for the week, for the whatever.
You know what? Because it takes the effort out of having to think about it.
Yep.
Because when you're in a relationship, my girlfriend beats me across the head with a sledgehammer all the time. Like, come on, let's go
Oh,
do
you
something
froze.
fun. I'm sitting there going like Fargo Noodles. Like, I don't know
I'll
what to
freeze too. Just
fucking
feel better.
do.
Okay. You froze up.
Oh
Sorry.
well, did I look good?
You did. I was trying to freeze too, just because I didn't want you to be alone in life. I'm
Stupid.
like, me too.
um, so the thing is, like, I'm going to start sending out these emails on, what's going to happen this weekend. So I'll go on like Thursday or
Mhm.
something, create it, send it on Friday. So everybody opens it up that afternoon or morning, whatever. That's a really good idea, Alyssa. I'm really thankful you came up with that idea. That
Thank
is
you.
awesome sauce.
It's a good way. It's a good way to start thinking about stuff for the weekend. How about like allowing it's kind of passive aggressive, but at least putting it out to people that you're available for strategy sessions. I mean, who doesn't like to talk about themselves? We're much more willing to communicate about our future goals. I think TikTok and things like that and Facebook, YouTube have opened us up to having more conversations. If you notice, like anything in life, if you want to know whether you got a good insurance quote or not, we're going to Facebook, we're going to TikTok, we're going to one of the social medias, we're searching that so that we can see other people that have posted that question before and what were the answers, and then you find all the things that you need. But how often are you utilizing kind of those resources around you to help you and then also solve the problems of the people around you?
Less than I should.
Less than you should. But I mean, it could just be that somebody, you might have just noticed through your Facebook feed that one of your friends is in need of something that you don't do. You don't even have anything to do with. But if
But
you can just reach out and contact them and say, I have somebody, or here's some ideas for you. We have so many resources. Sometimes being resourceful for others will remind them of the value you bring.
Well, and that's a good point because a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about here, we're going to go back to our lists.
Yeah.
But there is resources and then there's resourcefulness.
Yes.
And the resources, guys, my buddy James, the Zillow killer. If you guys have never heard of him, you would live under a rock. But he and I've been buddies for probably 10 years at this point. And he and I were rapping today on the phone, just having a blast chatting. And he blew my freaking mind with where AI is going. The point of the story is this: you never know what the other conversation can have to bring value to yourself, or you can bring value to another person. So get in front and be around people as much as possible. Everything we're going to talk about right now is just creating a conversation to bring value to the other human. That is
That's right.
that is exactly your job in life. So let's jump into calls really quickly. Now, Alyssa, have you ever done cold calls?
Yeah. I was like the number one telemarketer at 17 years old. That's how I got my whole start in sales, was working in a boiler room atmosphere. I rang my bell. I did
I
the
did
wheel
too.
every time I got a call. Did you really see?
I
There's something
did.
special about us kind of people. But I used to
I-
sell magazines. And so
oh
what
my
I would
god,
do is that we probably worked in the same boiler room.
dude. Okay, so I sold ads on the back of the receipts at like Safeway or
Hmm.
Vons or
Hmm.
Publix or anything like that. All those ads, I sold that shit. I
Yeah.
was selling that stuff.
Yeah. I sell magazines. So I would be listening
Rough.
before they even answered the phone. I would be listening in the background. If I could hear the kids right from the beginning, first magazine I'm going to talk about is Highlights. Highlights for children. Hey, you get 4 magazines. It's this great deal. Da
Oh
da
my
da.
god.
If I hear them, and not, I don't want to sound like racist or anything like that, but it's like if I could hear,
Let's say a different
the
cultural
yeah,
music
then
or
I would pick a
language.
cultural magazine that I thought would be. I'd be like, "Hey, you like Ebony? You like, come on, you like, and it would immediately kind of build a trust level that I was bringing in magazines that they would be interested in. It's like you can't go talking to people without kids about kids magazines; they're going to hang up on you. You know,
You're gonna think you're the big P word.
that's right.
But so what I'm hearing from you right now is that you honed in the art of listening to your surroundings
Mhm.
and not just be like, oh, someone picked up, I heard them pick up, okay, cool. No, you're
Right.
like, okay, let's say it's Spanish music or Latin music or
Totally.
French music or someone's playing like just death metal in the background. You're like, you guys want to get a subscription to Guitar Magazine? Fucking
Mhm.
cool, bro. Let's
Yeah.
roll. So
Yeah.
you listen and then you speak to the people in the way that they speak. That's
Mhm.
one of the things that I've found on doing almost a million cold calls and door knocks is that if you give someone the permission to speak the way that they understand language, not that they're dumb, but the way that they understand it. So if I'm very quiet and I don't really like the world, I'm timid, then you're like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Hello, how are you? If you're like, what's
You're
up,
saying
bitch?
match the energy, right?
Mirror and
Match the
match,
energy.
mirror and
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
And but a lot of folks, I mean, it doesn't have to just be on calls. It can be in person. I mean, if someone's hunching over a little bit, hunch over a little bit.
Mhm.
Allow them the ability subconsciously to be equal to you in the conversation. At that point, they gain a trust inside their head, going, "This person understands me. I get
Right.
it."
Right.
So so we do calls. What about door knocks? So that's one thing that we kind of going back and forth on. Have you ever door knocked?
No. Wait. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Sorry. Yes, I did. Sorry.
One day, one time, one door.
No, it's about 4 weekends in a row. Me and my little girlfriend, in the fifth
My
grade.
girlfriend and I, my
My
girlfriend and
my
I,
girlfriend and I in fifth grade. We were very bored one summer, and so we went door to door and collected money for the Humane Society because we loved puppies. And we collected, I want to say we collected $50. Like we did pretty good. And then we went there and we delivered it to the Arizona Humane Society. And it was so cool. We
that
did
is.
that for like 4 weekends in the summer. So
Well,
yes,
you
I
know what?
door knocked, and I thought it was, and that was when that was in the '80s or some or whatever '90s, but
Back in the Dizzle day,
could have got
right?
taken. Yeah.
So, I mean, door knocking is, and this is something that's amazing about door knocking. You get to learn about the community. Alyssa got to raise money for a charity. I've been attacked by dogs, almost eaten by a dog. I got ran over by a dog.
What could I be
Um,
scared of?
oh, dude, I almost got eaten by this pit bull. It was probably at least 250 pounds. It looked at me like I was a freaking steak on sticks. I was like, don't be afraid. They know
Oh
fear.
God,
Don't be
that
afraid. They know
terrifies me.
fear.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the horror stories. I had an old guy, right? When I was door knocking back when I first started about 20 something years ago. And this guy showed up to the front door, old guy, right? And he had a blanket over his wheelchair that he rolled up to the door in. He said, "What do you want?" I said, "I'm here to, blah, 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 real estate, yakety schmack, yakety schmack." He just pulls his blanket out off. He has a 44 caliber pistol with a hammer back. He
Oh my
goes,
gosh.
what do you want? And I'm like, nothing. I'm like, yeah, I just took off.
Happy birthday. Goodbye.
I'm out of here.
Oh God.
I've had people slam the doors in my face, so hard that I think they cracked their siding. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: the other people, on
Mhm.
hot days, they bring you in and give you air conditioning and water. On cold days, they bring you in and give you coffee and a towel. When you're walking around and people see that you're tired, they ask you to come in and sit down and rest. They tell you about the area and about the neighborhood. It's a uniquely powerful way to learn. More in depthly that you can ever get through mailers or Instagrams or Facebooks or text messages or calls or anything else. This is a way to literally get into the neighborhood and learn it. I had a gal. Um, she turned into a loan officer. I know title. She went into title, and she lived on the street on over here in West Side Alamo. I've been, this is back about 20 plus years ago, before like cell phone cameras and ring cameras and everything else. I was walking around the neighborhood, and I walked up, rang the doorbell, knocked on it. No one home, left my flyer. Long story short, I'm like, oh my gosh, because I recognize her. I'm like, oh my God, you're the lady who lives at blah, 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 Yakety Smack Street. Your husband has a motorcycle. You just had a baby. You guys just cut down the front door, the front tree, and you have a minivan. How are you? She literally stepped back away from me, going, like, eyes about as wide as saucers, going like,
Yeah.
we have a stage 5 clinger. Everybody be
Restraining
clear.
order. Give me my restraining. I would too. I would be like, excuse me, what?
How do you know about my husband? But the
So
point
that
is
could go.
that
That's the bad way. I got to tell you my little story too of how it could go really bad too. Okay, because this is really bad. This is really bad. I can only say this because this happened in year 1 out of a 21-year career that's gone really well, but year
uh-huh.
1, just to humble myself here.
Humble,
I'm not the best
humble
cook.
myself.
I'm not the
Yes.
best cook. I know that. I try. I'm much better than I was back 20 years ago.
I try to kill my girlfriend every time I cook for her, so I know how you feel.
I've gotten better. So, so I didn't have that mom that kind of said, this is the proper way to put this together. So my first like few weekends being in the business, I thought my boss kept telling me to go to open houses, that realtors really want to meet you if you go to open houses every weekend.
Yay for open houses.
And they'll be so excited to see you. And then you can start a conversation with them, and then you can get them to work with you, and it's going to be great. And I was like, oh, I'm all over that. I could do that. I am bold enough. I can walk up. So I thought, I don't want to just walk up empty handed though. I got to bring something, right? And this is about July in Arizona.
Oh my God, I have such a good idea for you.
Oh, I thought this is brilliant. I'm going to, who doesn't like Rice Krispie treats? I'm going to make Rice Krispie treats. I can make those Rice Krispies, butters, marshmallow. I can do this. So I made a really big batch, and my brand new husband was looking at me going, you think that's a good idea? And I'm like, yeah, I think this is going to be great. I'm going to make them end up.
Wait, what's the temperature outside right now in the story?
140 degrees in Arizona. Okay. And I'm going door to door to open houses with my best part. Here comes the best part. I didn't know about wax paper. I didn't know about parchment paper. So I wrapped the damn thing in foil. Yep. And so it was a foil ball of Rice Krispie butter that is not even well done. And then so I would walk up to the house and I'd say, hi, I'm Melissa. And I would even open the metal, open the tin foil. So it just was like this, ew. And I'm like, if you pull it hard, you can get to the Rice Krispie in there and pull it out.
So it's like snot stuck to it's like snot stuck to the foil, and you just gotta kind of go for the middle part because the rest of the parts, you don't want to eat metal.
They finally get a bite, and they'd be like, ah, the foil with. And
that's when you just leave and don't leave your business cards. You're just kind of like, here you go. I gotta go. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.
I was just throwing the balls. I was like, I got a Rice Krispie ball for you, and I thought I was like the base. I've sold baseball. I mean, I've sold peanuts. At the baseball.
Oh yeah. I got peanuts here, people.
Yeah, I got peanuts. I had to practice. Yeah.
I got chili peppers. I got ice cream.
That's another really good sales job if you got kids or younger kids. Like, it's hard to go walk up and down those and be annoying like that. That's a really good one.
Actually, it's a way to get told no and understand rejection, so that when you're in the dating scene as a single individual, or when you get into sales or anything else, like if you hear no enough, you're just like, there's no power there. Who gives a shit? Let's move on to something else here. I want to actually hold on before we do that. I want to go back to a story that I haven't told you yet. My newest listing I brought on this week, yesterday. One of the ladies who walked through is my friend Clara, and her husband's a real estate agent. I've known both of these fucking idiots since like high school or like junior high. I mean, and I say idiots with the most love possible, because I mean, they're phenomenal human beings and great people. And she walks in and I'm like, Clara, holy crap, what's up? Right. And she used to be a professional cook, chef, and she would cater all of these open houses. Then COVID hit, blah, blah, blah. Point of the story. She is now entitled. She's going around and meeting with real estate agents, like mortgage agents should do, so on and so forth. And I told her I'm going to give her my next 5 escrows through her account
Um,
because we're friends.
mhm.
Now, imagine how many times you've not been that within that mindset of like, dude, Alyssa, you are my friend. I'm
Mhm.
going to give you some of my business because I care about you.
Right.
Not like, oh my God, are you the best in the business? Do you have the best script? Do you have this? Do you have the best outline? Do you have the best, listening presentation?
Right.
Right? No, it's about relationship building. Once you
Yeah.
build that relationship, I haven't seen Clara in probably 5 years, something like
Right.
that. But I'll tell you, as soon as we saw each other, we literally ran into each other and just hugged and said, "Oh my God, how are you?" That's your business,
It's
ladies and
building
gentlemen.
those little moments that then, look, there's a lot of people in life. People are busy, but I can honestly say there's a lot of people I can think of that even when I see them, I haven't seen them in years. There's an instant love. There's an instant like, oh, and I mean it sincerely. I know some people hate that some people say I love you to a lot of people. They really have a hard time with it. They're like, well, you don't really, oh, you just love everybody. Well, so maybe I do. Maybe I do. I really do love a lot of people. I'm sorry. I'm not in love if that's something different with them,
That's
but
totally different.
I love them. Yeah. And I have no problem saying it. I say it a lot. I have to hold back, in a relationship, you don't want to say I love you soon,
But
but
why?
you can't help it because I would say I love you to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I say I love you to him?
Well,
But it's too soon.
well, interesting you bring that up. I think that a lot of folks feel that exact way. They're like, "Oh, I can't do it because I have to wait to do the 3-day rule or the 2-day or whatever
Right.
it is when you're single," right? Dude, my client, Christine, every time I talk to her, she's like, "Hi, love. Hi, okay, darling. All right, thank you, baby. All right, love
It's
you.
a way.
Bye."
It's a way. Right.
And
It's
I'm
a
like,
vibe.
I'm like, I felt weird the first time, and then as we talk more and more on the phone, I'm like, you know, why don't more people say that to each other? Why don't
Right.
more people just admit something that's awesome about another human?
Yeah.
And when you have communication, that could be doors, calls, emails, social media, text messages, events, videos, letters. Why don't you just tell people that they're fucking amazing?
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to start doing is I'm going to get back with mornings with McDaniel, just motivational for like 15-30 minutes. I love
Mhm.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to start off saying, "Good morning, you stunning stacks of fucking awesomeness. Let's go and crush today. This is my thought on this
We don't
because
get enough of it.
we need the
Mhm.
mentally positive, stimulating conversations. I listen to a lot of political stuff, a lot of political stuff.
Yeah, you do.
And I'll tell you one thing, it's negative, 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 negative. What if we shifted it and everything stays positive? Like when someone
Or
says,
there's just a balance, because I'll be
yeah,
honest, I
look at
don't
the
like I'm
balance.
a really positive person, but I don't like positive people coming at me if I c if it doesn't feel genuine, you know what I mean? Like,
That
you gotta be real.
and that's a good point. You can't fake it to make it on how you feel. You have to be authentically honest to who you are. So if you are an Eeyore, and if anyone knows exactly what that means, give me a thumbs up in the comments. That's awesome if you actually know what that means. Alyssa
Mhm,
just give me that.
mhm,
If you're an Eeyore, aka a Debbie Downer, um, then be Debbie Downer. That's your
mhm,
personality. If you're Mr. or
mm,
Mrs. Positivity, like Alyssa and I are pretty much 90% of the time, be that. We have to stop holding ourselves back for our clients because our audience is looking for someone like them. Because at this time in our lives, being recorded in 2024 in February, March of February 2024, we are desperately looking for our own clan. So,
mhm.
what does that look like? And who do you want to be aligned with? And so, doing, the cold calls, the door knocks, the emails, so for the weekly, monthly, and personal ones out to your friends and family, social media posts, text message, video, and voice, events, past clients, community and local events, videos, buyer, seller, local communities. How are you going to be perceived? How are you going to be perceived? Who's going to be looking at you?
And let me
How
just tell you this, to cut you off. I'm not that kinda
please.
Eeyore. I didn't realize that was the definition.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say, like, how Eeyore says, "Thanks for noticing me." I thought that's what you meant. That it was I was the validator. So I'm a Leo, so of course, like, I want validation, and I thought that's what you were calling me. Anyway, so I'm not a Debbie Downer, though. I just wanna make
N
sure I got the definition
no,
right.
not
Okay.
you. just anybody's personality
Right.
differences,
Right.
right? So if you're like, well, woe is me, day is okay, great. You have an audience for that, right?
Right.
OnlyFans. There's an audience for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to listen to hardcore metal, there's a channel for that. If you
Yep.
like country, there's a channel for that. If you want political, Democrat, Republican, Independent, there's a channel for that. Where do you fit in for your tribe to find you?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, man.
And maybe
Doesn't
you could
matter.
be known as the person who has good ideas for turning lemons into lemonade, because the whole thing is that I was going to say one of the great ways of staying in touch with your database, okay, is thinking about the rejects, thinking about the people that rejected you and making a point, making it a priority to literally campaign, to them to win them back. So, okay, let's just say, for example, I've been working with him for 2 years and he fires, oh, he's gone now. He fires me because he finds a bank with a better rate. Okay, what do I do? Normally, I'm just going to be so butthurt. I'm going to stop, I'm going to stop wanting to work with him. I'm going to stop wanting to reach out. He told me he doesn't want to work with me. What else do you want? Right. But no, what if you flip the script and you decide, you know what? Every Friday from here on out, I'm going to call him. I'm going to send him a text. I'm going to say, how's your transaction going? How's that transaction going? Okay. And you might find a timing thing. You might find a moment where they're like, it's not going good. And I really wish I didn't go with that lender because you know what? 9 times out of 10, sometimes you move over to another lender with a better rate. And then you get a lender that doesn't know how to put your file together. And it's like great rate that can't even close. Their transactions all a mess. And so you being the bigger man uncomfortably and staying in
Or
front of the
woman,
people or
or
woman,
woman.
staying in front of the people that have rejected you. Okay. That's a key thing. There could be huge gold mines that you're missing out on because of your pride, because they rejected you. And that's why guys don't have any problem reaching back out to you after you've rejected them 100 times and they still write you on Saturday morning, what you doing? WID, WID.
What,
They're trying to keep
what's
in touch.
what's WID?
Sorry, what you doing? What you doing?
Oh my god, I'm so old.
What you doing?
Oh
This
my
is single
god.
life over here. But it's the truth
Oh
though.
my god.
Those guys have something. It's a numbers game. If they can just, even though the girl has said, you're not my type, we're gonna be friends. There's guys that just keep going and keep trying and they don't take no for an answer, like in a positive way. And you need to be that with
So
clients. Yeah.
so
What do you want to
let's think about that really quickly.
say? Okay.
Let's think about it in the manner of persistence. Now, do not get it twisted, ladies. If someone's aggressively, going after you in a physical way that's not conducive to your liking, obviously report them naturally.
Right.
Let's talk about client follow up.
Right.
If and guys too, by the way, I'm not going to be sexist. But so if you were to be that aggressive, and if so, I heard a great podcast, and it talked about never giving up on a lead until you have 7 different ways to communicate with them. And so if it's a phone call, if it's a text, it's a door knock, it's an email, social media post,
Wait, Greg, are you
invite them
saying
to an event, to video.
have these 7, and I'll have you repeat them since I interrupted you, but are you saying have these 7 or have done these 7
Don't stop on a client lead
until
until
you've done?
you have implemented all 7
Got it.
opportunities.
Okay.
Because when I was listening to this, now if you guys haven't heard it, it's the PBD podcast. I freaking love these guys out of New York, or they're out of Florida, I think now. But he was talking about PBD was talking about the fact like his first sales trainer was saying like everyone stops following up with a lead after one call or one
Mhm.
attempt, but you can't do that. You have to build up 7 different ways to get in touch with them because maybe they're not a texter, maybe they're not on the phone, maybe they're not at home, maybe they don't like email, maybe they're not on social, but they love live events.
Mhm.
Oh, bam, got them.
Right.
I made my connection, right?
Yeah.
And but we stop. We have this hindrance in our brain to stop at one no. Like, oh my God, they hate me, they hate my brand, they hate my industry, they hate everything. When in
Right.
reality, what if they came back and they just got rear-ended by someone on the freeway and during a rainstorm? What if they
Right.
came back from work and they just got fired, or maybe they found out that their career is going to end because of some sort of iteration in AI, right?
Big
We
thing.
don't understand the level of stress that other people are going through. Everybody's fighting a battle we don't know. And it
Right.
could be somebody's walking around, your supermarket and you see him, you just kind of walk around. Maybe he's got pancreatic cancer. Where this other person just had an abortion, where this other person just found out they had, blood cancer. You
You don't
don't
know.
fucking
You
know
don't know
what's
their
going on in
story.
their lives.
Yeah.
And or you know what? Maybe this woke up in a bad mood. But here's the thing.
Mhm.
Once you find the way to communicate with the people that you're trying to prospect to, and it might not be your way of communicating, but it's
Mhm.
their way of hearing you,
That's
all of
it.
a
Yeah.
sudden you become relevant. Now
That's
you're
exactly it.
speaking their language, baby.
Yeah.
And
That's
we
exactly
don't
what
do
I was
it.
gonna say about that, Greg, too, and that's so such a good point. Make it clear. What's the number? No, what's minute 15 or 54, whatever. Okay.
35.
It's not so much about what you're saying, it's how they're hearing you. My daughter's in the car on the way home from school today. They're 14 and 16. And my 14-year-old said, Mom, I don't get along with my Spanish teacher because I have to scream all the time and she never hears me. She's always saying da da da. And my older daughter said, Did you know that she's deaf in one ear?
That's
I'm
a
like,
perfect case in point.
and Brooklyn just looked at her and went, and you got to think about it. It's not so much what you're saying, it's can they hear you? Let's get that first. And then it might not just be really like that they're deaf. It might be because of
Well,
whatever's going on in their life that's making them not able to focus on what you're saying at that
Well,
moment.
they're deaf in a certain capacity. I mean, if you think about it,
Mhm.
um, you and I have joked many times when we first started doing the show together. Emails are not my friend. I had like almost 100,000 emails unread in my inbox. Right?
Yeah.
I was email deaf. Like I just if it went an email, it just gone.
Yeah.
If you text me or if Facebook messaged me, now I was listening to you. If you called me, yeah, not so much anymore. You
Yeah.
text or message me, I'm 1,000% going to open that message
I was going to
without
say,
a
what is
doubt.
the best method of communication for you? If you could only pick one that people could reach you, what would it be?
It would be digital written communication or video communication, aka Facebook Messenger or text message in any way, audio, video, or written text. The reason why is I'm 100% going to pick that up because that is the way my brain works. And
Okay.
people like if you send me a letter or a mailer, I'm going to throw it away. I mean,
Okay.
I look at my competitions stuff purely because I'm interested to see what they're doing and kind of laugh at them. Um, Videos, if Jackie and I or I am looking to do something, we'll watch videos all day long till the cows come home. So that's
Mhm.
another powerful thing, but be very specific in the videos that you make. So it's like, okay, so we're gonna make an offer on a home.
Mhm.
These are the first 5 steps. Bing bang boom bam bing bang. Okay, call me for more information. Hit me up in the DMs or the messages below, and I'll give you more information. I have a free flyer for the next 5 steps.
Mhm.
It's just to get the engagement going, then the trust builds, then the relationships builds. The
Right.
relationship builds.
If you can happen to early on in a relationship dig deep to find what method of communication they
You ask
prefer.
them.
I mean, I'm saying like if you can do that right from the beginning and then stick to that. I just know so many people in my life that they like to email only, right? Or they like to when they reach out to me, it could be my mother. They message me through
By the
Facebook.
way, happy birthday, Mama Bear.
I mean, we're saying happy 69. But the Facebook messenger, that's going to be the last resort for me. You're not going to connect. I'm not going to be able to connect with you like on TikTok, email, Facebook message. Not immediately. I do get to it every day, but it's not going to be the number one priority. I always say, text me, text me, text me. You got to find if that other person hates texts like you, Greg, my guy, and my ex-husband. If I text you too long of something, you'll pick up the phone and call me. You're like, I
I
don't,
do it
and you
every
guys are
day.
all, well, one of them's not, but like you guys are kind of illiterate. I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Oh, just sucks. But you just
Are
don't
you
like.
talking about our special friend?
Yeah, I'm just looking to like how much can you read? And look, me, you could send me a book and I would be happy to read it by text. I
Oh,
send a
no.
book all the day, every days to all my friends and stuff,
No.
and they will delete me immediately. So it's like you've got to understand. Some people like to process information like that, like just scan, read, and then be done. And some are like, email me, or I don't even look at texts. You got to pick up the phone because that's how I communicate. Unless you're going to meet them there, there's going to be a lack of communication there, right?
Well, there is, and being dyslexic, legitimately dyslexic,
That's yeah.
reading is like watching a movie with subtitles. Like I know there's substance, but I really do not enjoy the process, right?
You're just my ex-husband doing
It,
lately. It's
it
funny.
is horrible to do that.
Yeah.
And that's right, because and this is what I do with my clients for follow up and staying in contact with them. I ask them a very simple question: how would you like to be communicated with? Phone, email, text, social media, and who should I be talking with? Who am I? Who's my main point of contact?
Mhm.
It's my wife because I'm in meetings. Okay. Or
Right.
it's my husband because I'm in meetings or work
That's another good one.
dealing with the kids. Great. How would you prefer to be contacted? I'm great on text. Phenomenal. What's your best cell phone?
Yeah.
Here,
What's the
let's
best
go
time
back
of
to
day
that.
for us to communicate? Is
Best
there any
time of
off
day.
times,
And
off
and then
limit
it's
time?
also like, is it do you want updates daily, weekly, monthly, as they happen?
Mhm.
Do you care,
Mhm.
or should I just pocket all the cash?
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Some
But it gets them kind of saying,
people
oh
like
no,
a lot
no.
of details. Some people don't. It
Yeah,
and
that's
it causes them anxiety, and they'd rather just be able to they're like, I've had a lot of clients who said, "Look, Alyssa, you've done 5 houses for me. I trust you. Do I have to read all this?
just
Can I
deal
just
with it.
sign, sign, sign?" Yeah, 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 it's you
But
have to
but
know your people.
Right, but also when it comes back to the legalese in regards to just tell them to sign, obviously to have them review everything
Of
through an
course.
attorney if they desire, so on and so forth. But I mean, with that, I've had clients do the same thing. Like, Greg, we trust you. I'm like, okay, but do you want to go over the documents? And they're like,
Right.
yes. And they appreciate that because that's one of my follow-up contacts with them, going like, okay, this is going to be what you're going to be looking at. And people
Yeah.
go, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But let's wrap this up. I
Yeah.
want you to go through your list really quickly in regards to kind of your top 8 if we didn't cover them all,
We got through
or
almost all.
add-ons to anything we've discussed.
Okay. Um, what we didn't discuss were kind of some of the um, opportunities where you're like, maybe there's nothing for you to gain. Okay. There's seriously, it's something to where you might contact them and say, just wanted to let you know that I came in contact with a really good AC unit person who happens to have a couple AC units right now. They can get us for like 5 grand installed. And if that's something you're looking for, I mean, I'm not part of that, but like I have an actual system called House Happy. So my clients log in and they kind of keep track of their home improvement projects. So I can kind
Mhm.
of see the backside of it when they're getting ready to like get quotes for a roof, get quotes for things. And so you being able to step in and say, "Hey, my brother is this," or "My brother can help you with that," or "I know somebody who just has an incredible AC unit deal." When they're 10 or 12,000 sometimes with some people, 9 with those kind of things of being more in tune with through some of those kind of tracker things. I don't know. They seem a little stalkery too, because I have some of them where they're like Zillow. If my past clients get on Zillow and start searching for houses, it'll alert me that they might want to buy a house soon. It feels really weird contacting them and being like, "How's that Zillow going?" And they're like, "That was me at 2 in the morning." I was like, "I know. I saw that house you were looking at," like, what are you supposed to say? I don't know. So that world of Big Brother spying on you is a little weird. You got to find the ways, but it's easy for you to send them an article related, or send them something that's a little bit more vague, but that generally could be something that could assisting them during the time without really having an expectation of them to call you. You're really just trying to make their life easier. And that was kind of the last thing that you and I talked about on the phone before we started was about that. I love the fact that at every show, you guys, every show we have a guest on, after the show's over and we're having our little after show party, the guest Greg always like it's so part of him to say, what can we do to help you though? What can we do to genuinely help you succeed in your business? Is there anything we can help with? Like, is there direct connection we can make with somebody for you? And like, I feel it to be so selfless and not agenda like oriented. It's not like you say that, followed up by this is what we need from you. When you do that, it kind of takes off. It takes the the nice message. Everything that was said prior to your ask is ruined, just so you know. So don't ruin a good trust, a good introduction to somebody by being nice and being all this, and then to come in and swoop in and ask for the sale at that point, because it won't be genuine. Pick a different time. Don't sandwich the two.
Well, it's like going to the bar, right? If you're single,
Yeah.
gonna be single, have been single, whatever. If you go up and you see a human being that you're attracted to, and you're like, "What's up?" and then you try to stick your tongue down the individual's throat without
Yeah.
even like getting
Doesn't
a
work.
name,
Yeah.
that's yeah, you're gonna get arrested for that, and probably get in the hoo hoos or in the smash
Or
mouths
punch.
downstairs.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, that's what we all do with our clients because we don't nurture them. We don't farm them. Why do you think it's called farming? Have you ever thought about that? Literally think about farming. My family comes from farmers on both sides of my family. Lettuce, and then on one side, and then the other side is like agricultural, like sheep and goats and almonds and shit like that. Here's
Yeah.
the thing, you can't grow a sheep in a day. You can't grow an almond tree in a week. You can't grow lettuce in a month or a week. I mean, it has to be farmed, nurtured, given the right ingredients to grow. You can't have a
Yeah.
sheep grow up with no water, no feed. You can't have a tree grow with no water. You can't have lettuce grow with no good dirt and good water and good sunshine. The analogies are this: stop being over presumptive of what you can do in one day and underestimating what you can do in 1 year.
Mm.
So farm your folks, nurture them. I know nurture's overused and it's so
Well, the
fucking
4
annoying to
words
hear
I
that.
use with gardening or with farming or whatever, it's like
Yeah.
plant, water, weed,
Oh,
harvest.
weed? I'm down with weed.
Weed is a different term than you're thinking, but weeding out. Like, you have to
Oh,
go at
weeding
some point,
out.
you have to go through your plant. Okay, let's just say it's my database and I'm going through the plant, water. I've got to plant some new seeds every
You
day,
have
okay?
to.
Then you have to water the seeds you already have. You have to nurture them. You have to keep them so that they can grow eventually, right? Then you have to weed. You have to weed out the stuff that is distractions, the people that are distractions, the ideas you have, the stinking thinking, all of that. You got to go through the process. These things should be a daily part of your daily business agenda. Plant, okay? Okay, plant, water, weed, and then harvest. There should be a time for harvesting too, and that's when you're really digging in and you're celebrating the experience of buying the home, you're celebrating life together
But
and all of that.
when it comes to weeding out things, that's it's a very strategic thing you said there, and
Mhm.
because everyone says like, oh my god, every lead's a good lead, all money is a good commission. No, 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 no,
No, no, no.
nose, no, nose, nose, nose. Weed out the time suckers, the energy vampires, the people and places that suck you dry in a negative way, so that you can't be at your highest and best. And there's a lot of people out there just to take advantage of you because you're a nice human being you want to give. See them, smell them, kick them out of your life, kick them out of your database. Now, do it considerately, do it nicely,
Mhm.
be professional about it at every turn, but just
Mhm.
say, hey, look, we're not a good fit. I'd love to refer you to Alyssa Glutz.
And almost everybody can look at their business, and if they're struggling at all in real estate and mortgage and any business, they can probably bring it back to one of those 4 that they're really missing. Maybe they're planning all their time is around planting. They're not doing any nurturing after that, right?
Nothing.
Or maybe they're doing all this watering, water, 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 no new planting. So it's all their friends that are like,
Because
"We've
you
heard
drown the
the
plant.
story. We
You
heard it."
drown the plant.
Yeah. Now it's dead. That's what happens
M-
to my plants. But the weeding is
Moderation.
probably the number 1 that I see that people, don't you think that they don't spend the time weeding out, and that's the killer
It is
sometimes.
it is the killer. And guys and gals, if you're doing, let's say, for instance, you're doing calls, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh shit, the shit isn't working, blah blah blah. Great. let's not stop it, but let's just add something onto it. Let's add a value on. So let's do calls into a neighborhood, and then let's go door knock that neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when you're in the neighborhood and you have a good conversation with somebody, then you send a handwritten letter back to the people you have good comment contact with. You get their information, you friend them on a social media, site that you built specifically for that neighborhood, or just your own personal one. Now you communicate through that. You like their stories, their posts, they do vice versa. And then you invite them to events. Then they start seeing your videos. It's a cascading thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Then they're like, "Oh my god, I see you every week in my inbox," and it all came from the fact that you were persistent and consistent on this stuff. This is a
Timing
no
is everything.
fail remedy for future
Mhm.
business. Now here's the caveat. Here's the problem. Is a big problem. It's simple.
Mhm.
It is not easy.
Yeah.
So, if you're willing to put the time in, guys and gals, this and Alyssa and I can show you how to do this. I mean, I literally can write up a manifesto for you exactly how to do this, step by step, process by process. But if you don't put the work in, why am I? Why even listen to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this will put hundreds of thousands of dollars in your bank account. Now, is it going to happen tomorrow? No. It's going to take time to build, and I'm talking 6 to 8 months.
Mhm.
There's a guy I talked to in LA. He door knocked for 8 months in a neighborhood which was all hills. He wrote newsletters to his neighbors, talking about his trips with his kids and his wife. I mean, he was doing everything he could, beating his head against the wall, trying to figure out what's going on. Hold on, I got to get this call really quickly. Alyssa, take the show for half a second. I apologize.
Okay, cool. Dance with me. Okay. No, and just exactly what he's saying uh is probably let's imagine who he's calling right now. They're calling with your test results.
My
Um
test results they came back positive for being awesome. Um,
I could have gone a whole nother way with that one.
I knew you were where you're going with that.
Well,
I apologize, guys. That was one of my clients. That was an agent trying to show one of my properties. I'm so sorry. I had to buzz them in.
you know what I love about it though? You were ready to stop this live show so that you could answer and be of service to somebody. That's awesome.
I've got to help my clients sell their house.
Well,
And that's
let's
the
wrap
whole
it up,
thing.
babe. Yeah.
Nothing really stops in regards to your follow-up, guys, and your lead gen in 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, or to oblivion whenever you guys listen to this. Here's the thing. The tactics might shift. The
Mhm.
technique of being human and being of service to them, looking to grow and build their businesses before your business, you have to bless and prosper before receiving. So you have to give, and then receive. Once you understand that tactic, the law of reciprocity kicks in like a flywheel from another dimension,
Mhm.
and it will kick everybody's rear end into
Yeah.
gear because they're like, oh my God, you gave me blah, blah, yakety schmack without ever asking for anything.
Mhm.
And once you do that, and everyone's like, well, I have to close, coffee's for closers. Okay, cool. Not a problem.
Mhm.
Let's reverse that engineer, that dumb shit thought pattern. And why don't you just say coffee's for everyone, closings for the people who it fits?
Mhm.
And now you have an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody that their lifestyle is in line with your lifestyle, wants and needs, how you can serve them.
Mhm.
And the calls, the doors, the emails, the social media, the text messages, events, videos, and mailers, and whatever else pop by, so on and so forth. That is your top of funnel, boys and girls.
Mhm.
Right up here, very top of funnel.
Mhm.
Then you bring them down through the funnel, and that's where you build the relationships and the trust. Once you build that, your business will flourish. And
Mhm.
remember, and this is very important to remember, you are your brand. Your brokerage is your brokerage. That's your legal obligation brokerage. Your brand is who and what you look like, how you speak, what you do, your activities, how you're perceived. If you are comfortable in that, your folks will come to you. My last several listings, 1.8, 900,000, 1.7 million, and the list goes on. Another three and a half, $350,000 listing. They all came from me being authentic. My last one for 1.825 million per this recording, because I didn't dress up, is what the wife told the husband.
because you were different. I mean, that's really the main thing. You were different than what they were seeing.
Yeah, exactly. And in
Mhm.
2024, as this recording is taking place, people don't want that. They don't want this, the sad same horseshit. They want someone who aligns with them.
Mhm.
Talk to them like a human being.
Mhm.
Communicate in these different opportunities the exact same way you're going to show up in person.
Yeah.
Do not put out yourself like, oh, I love hot rods, and show up in a three-piece suit driving a European car. Shit doesn't
Know
jive.
yourself, yeah. And we're gonna talk more about that. I think next week is we're gonna do a lot more about building a respectable brand, how you build that brand
Yep.
of credibility. And so that's gonna be really good next week. I'm excited for that.
I am excited for that one too. I've been looking forward to that show for quite some time. So,
Yeah.
Alyssa, let's wrap it up for our guests here, not our ghosts.
Yes.
Joe is in the Hizzle house. What up, Joe? Joe is one of my assassins. He calls with me. He's out of North Dakota. And
I
this
think I met him.
fucker,
Yeah.
dude, this guy, he cracks me up because he will be doing cold calls on a headset. Now, keep in mind, he's doing thousands of calls a day, and he does it, and he's playing golf in his inside golf range in his garage. He plays like 36 holes, playing golf, hitting balls, making cold calls, picking up clients, and
And he's
that's
just
how
kind of
this.
waiting for the call to come through, right? It's just
Yeah, just waiting for it to come through, comes back, clicks it, moves on, hits the ball, clicks it, has a conversation, moves on. But the point is this:
that's awesome.
talk about beers, golf, and calls, right? If you could make cold calls and hit golf balls, or ladies, if you could make cold calls and get your nails done, or guys, if you could do cold calls and swim in the pool. I mean, pick something you like
Lay by the
and then
pool.
put some work behind it.
Yes. Get a
I
pool
mean,
boy. That's what I'm thinking, girls. We don't really
oh,
want to get but nails are not fun to go get done. Just so you know, we like to sit by the pool with a pool boy
oh
bringing us
yeah. Well,
drinks. Okay.
who doesn't?
That's what we do. That's what we
Uh,
do over here. So
I am the pool boy of this house, so I really am.
we want a
All
whole
right.
new pool boy, though, not our
So
normal pool boy. I'm kidding. No.
from pool boys to prospecting, all
That's right.
kinds of crazy shit.
Ooh, I got a
happening.
good show for you. Okay, love it.
Alyssa, where can people find you and listen to more of your awesome, amazing content?
Okay, follow me over at colormycredit.com. You can do like a one-on-one consultation with me if I can help you with really a strategic plan to raise your credit score high enough to be able to buy a house or to buy a car or to have a good, confident self-esteem, things like that. But colormycredit.com, and come over and visit me Monday, Wednesday, Friday on TikTok from 11 to noon Arizona time. I do a live and answer questions and all that good stuff.
Yeah, she's amazing, guys. Go follow her immediately. She has like 500 or 600 or a million followers, something ridiculously huge. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like a bajillion people. She's like Elon Musk of mortgage.
Just kidding.
Go hang out with her. Guys, follow me, like anything I post on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, please hit that the subscribe button and give me a little thumbs upper. That really helps the channel out. And thanks for watching to the end. That tells the algorithm that you guys like our content. So thank you, guys. I hope you have a blessed day. And until next time, peace out, ninjas.